Welcome to the We Are One podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about the WEF and neurotechnology. This is going to be a really quick video, but stay tuned with us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nicholas Thompson. I'm the CEO of Atlantic, and I'm the moderator today. We are going to have an incredible session. Star of the show is Nina Rahani. She's a physicist at Duke, and she's so smart and so interesting. This is how it's going to work. We're going to watch a short video. She's going to come on and do a little Q&A from the audience, and that'll be a wrap, and you'll leave enlightened and excited. So first off, the video. It's going to make you see the future and understand a wonderful future where we can use brainwaves to fight crime.
All right, let me point something out that I just noticed real quick. Looks like this is a YouTube channel called The New World Order. They only have 888 subscribers, so they're new. This is their symbol in the top left, and that it's only a conspiracy. Is I guess it's part of their channel. They overlaid it. I thought it was maybe this Davos meeting, but it's not. So they're going to talk about that, but go ahead. What you had to say about this real quick, MJ?
No, but you should play it. I mean, maybe not the because that's what I was going to talk about. That the way they frame this. Long story short, the future that they're trying to implement is one where they're monitoring your brainwaves, even during you're at work, and pretty much connecting you to a network to where they're getting data on what you think, monitoring how you think, and using that to supposedly deter crime and all of that. It's a Minority Report kind of reality that they're actually in the process of implementing. And the person that they were going to bring on was talking about the technology and actually had an animation that showed how it could potentially work. And it's something out of science fiction. And she was saying that the earbuds that would allow them to read your brain waves they exist now, and they'll be coming out in the near future. I think she said towards the end of this year. So this is all stuff that's coming. I mean, these are people.
That's the video you saw, the one I was about to play.
No, the one I saw was a shorter version of that. It just kind of went to her, but that's the long version. But she was going to get up there and show the animation and talk through it.
Let's find the animation. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna cue it up real quick.
Yeah, I sent you.
You sent something on there?
Well, you can check your email. I just sent you the link that I was going to show that has it's like a 3-minute video or few minute video. I think the one you had was like a half hour. I think that's the whole presentation. But it's just when you see and you know they try to frame it in certain ways, just like they frame everything in certain ways. They frame the jab in certain ways, right? So but it's being implemented. It's being worked on. And these are people with the means.
Right, I got to pull down. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's see.
Yeah, but these are people with the means, opportunity, and the motivation to do these things. So it's in process.
See if I can get this thing linked.
Yeah, this is from.
Artificial intelligence has enabled advances in decoding brain activity in ways that we never before thought possible. After all, what we think, what we feel is data that in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence. We're not talking about implanted devices of the future. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like Fitbits for your brain, earbuds, headphones, tiny tattoos that you can wear behind your ear. We can pick up emotional states like, are you happy or sad or angry? We can pick up and decode faces that you're seeing in your mind. Simple shapes, numbers, your PIN number to your bank account. Meta acquired this company, Control Labs, in 2019 because major tech companies are investing in helping to make these devices universally applicable as the way in which we interact with the rest of our technology. In fact, the coming future, and I mean near-term future, is these devices being the primary way in which we interact with all of the rest of our technology. Rather than a mouse or a keyboard, you can simply swipe with your mind. While we can't literally decode complex thought just yet, there's a lot that we can already decode that's quite relevant for the workplace environment. In more than 5,000 companies across the world, employees are already having their brainwave activity monitored to test for their fatigue levels. Whether it's the Beijing-Shanghai line, where train conductors are required to wear hats that have sensors that pick up their brain activity, or mining companies throughout the world, employees are already having their brain activity monitored, and it very well may be something that we want to embrace as a society. Done poorly, it could become the most oppressive technology we've ever introduced in a wide scale across society.
Done poorly.
We still have the chance to make it right, and something that I think companies should be experimenting with. And that is the use of the technology to make the workplace a more responsive workplace to the individual worker. One where humans and robots and AI work seamlessly together in order to optimize a better and healthier workplace. This idea of cognitive ergonomics is what I think is the future of the healthier workplace, a place that adapts to our abilities, slows down when we need to slow down, and helps us to reset so that we don't suffer from endless cycles of stress. Surveillance of the human brain can be powerful, helpful, useful. It also has a dystopian possibility of being used to exploit and bring to the surface our most secret self, focusing in the world of wearable technology as opposed to implanted technology. And I do believe that within many of our lifetimes, we'll see healthy people using implanted brain technology as well. So many companies are launching these earbuds and headphones this year that have sensors that are built in. One of the things that has limited the widespread adoption of the technology until now has been that you have to wear something like across your forehead. Most of us aren't going to do that. But when it's the same device that you're using to take calls from and also to listen to music from that also is picking up brainwave activity, it's integrated into your everyday life. But as healthy people in a widespread way start to have their brainwave data collected, the insights that we can gain through pattern recognition will exponentially increase and pretty quickly. Again, that's frightening but promising, because think about most of neurological disease and suffering are those disruptions of brain activity, which we'll start to be able to pick up. So you have recognition memory signals that are preconscious and subconscious, and this is part of why it's been used, for example, by governments to interrogate criminals. Do you recognize this potential co-conspirator? Do you recognize, this murder weapon? I think we're moving past passwords pretty quickly. And
I saw a hand
it's
go
actually
up.
really good for passwords. Neural signatures are unique. We can use it as a biometric for passwords.
Yeah, that didn't have they had an animation in there. They can look at that themselves where it actually goes through a workplace environment scenario. But yeah, I have little. She talked about the potential for it being misused, and look how often technology has been misused. I would say at this point. So, giving them more access to deeper insights into what you're thinking and what you're not thinking, even subconsciously, I don't think is a good idea, especially with the people that are in control now. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, maybe I'll be the first one. I like to raise my hand and say, no way in hell that's going to happen to me. They'll implement that to communist countries. Like she said, they're already in China, where there's probably a lot of NPCs, literal NPCs out there. They don't have nothing to say no with. And then you're probably right. They'll make it so people can have it, and then there'll be laws, and then all of a sudden there'll be another false flag event, and then there'll be some more legislation that says, nope, we can now access your brainwaves just to make sure you're secure. But this is another reason why we need to reframe our reality fast and learn how to be healthy, mind, body, and spirit at our own will. Because what's going to happen is they're going to start seeing people that they're going to classify as depressed or troubled or like Minority Report. You're an issue to society eventually. And then if you can't overcome your emotions or you lash out at somebody, they're going to arrest you and throw this thing behind your ear and monitor you for the rest of your life. You're going to be on the list. So reframe your reality, people, because if you can't get proactive behind that, you're going to be subjected to this crap.
Yeah, but even before that, she talked about the companies that are investing in this technology. So they're private companies. So there's nothing stopping them from saying, if you want to work at Meta, you have to wear these earbuds.
That's fine. I'm good with that, because I think Meta is one of the evil companies of the world. So you
But
want to work for Meta.
right, but the point is, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to adopt it because of that, because they're going to need to feed their families. They're going to have to play that game, just like with people that had a choice whether to get jabbed or not to keep their jobs. It'd be something similar to that.
I think so, but I mean, I think you also saw that that didn't work. Not only for the jab, but also for the threats. I mean, some people did lose their job, temporarily.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they can go back now to whatever they want if they even are interested in doing that. But it woke them up to the fact that their situation wasn't as stable as they thought it was. When you are when you're indoctrinated, whether it's the medical industry or whether it's a government job or whatever that is, and you're forced to do whatever they tell you to do, you don't have a say. And I think that was a real wake-up call for a lot of people, which in my opinion is a good thing. They probably won't get a second chance. At least they won't get one to me. So hopefully people are paying attention and see that thing actually didn't go through the way it was supposed to, which is a good sign in my opinion.
Yeah. I think you're going to have your dissenters, but I'll be curious to see, and I probably want to look at it to see how many people chose not to. But I'd imagine the percentage where a lot of people acquiesced. I know people that say, "Oh, well, I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to lose my job, so I did it anyway." And just imagine the military. Look how many people the military employs. So that's mandatory for the military, and of course they're going to want to get access to all that brainwave data. I mean, they will love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to have your people that are not going to comply, but the majority of the people, I think, will and will succumb to it.
Well, hopefully we're at a position where we have all the information we need, or at least more information. The information may be hidden. So, if you guys are approached with this in the future, maybe remember this recording and just try to use your wherewithal to get as much information as you can, because it's probably not going to happen here first. I don't think it will. I think it's happening overseas first. Obviously, in those communist countries, they don't have a choice. They're being forced to do it. The military is being forced to do it. If you guys can remember this conversation, dig deep and find out what the truth is before you sign up for that.
Yeah, and it's coming, and it'll be interesting to see how it's marketed, because of course, and it was interesting to see that she mentioned the negative implications to it, but that won't be put into the marketing.
She didn't really mention negatives. I mean, she
mentioned the possibility. She mentioned the possibility of it being dystopian and being misused, but she just briefly talked about it.
Yeah, when they market this mainstream,
that won't be part of the. Just like with the medicine they market, they'll show you happy images and they'll briefly talk about the potential side effects, right? So it'll be the same deal.
Yep, the pros will outweigh the cons, and it'll all be for the betterment of society. And this is how we're going to develop. And well, if one of your kids dies or your spouse dies, well, that's just too bad. I mean, it's just all for the betterment of the community. You should already be ready for that. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that here yet. And I hope the world doesn't, but it's going to be coming eventually.
Yeah, we'll see. Smart people with money.
There's a movie on. I was watching a movie yesterday with my wife. Most of it was I don't know if it was on Netflix. I think it was on Prime. It was about MK Ultra, about the LSD, and this is 60 years ago going on, 50, 60 years ago, and like this, I'm sure people didn't have a clue what the heck they were signing up for. But hopefully the people that sign up for this are going to have some kind of a clue. They probably won't. Maybe they'll be made to bow down by changing their DNA somehow. We can all imagine how.
And one thought that popped into my head that, and I guess we'll see, is they talk about recording the information, but could they also broadcast? Is there a potential to? Is this a two-way communication? Can there be influence? So who knows, right? I guess we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, that was my thought with MK Ultra. That a lot of these people who were hearing voices 60 years ago were people that they said they were schizophrenic schizophrenic or they were bipolar or whatever it was that they were hearing these voices. It's like, man, I wonder if these people are actually on some kind of a frequency program and somebody's trying to dial in, and they're really hearing voices, and people are really in their heads, because you were hearing those stories a long time ago. They're in my head, and they'd stab themselves in the ear because they couldn't get the voices out of their head. In my opinion, that was a beta level, frequency, MK Ultra kind of thing. And those people were probably perished or went crazy when they were hacking in there. So yeah, I think the same thing's going to happen. Hopefully we're aware, or people will be aware of what's going on around them when that happens.
Yeah, just be on the lookout for it. It's coming.
All right, y'all. Well, appreciate y'all listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Help the algorithm out. We're gonna get tagged here pretty shortly. So if you want to be alerted to our new videos, hit that bell icon, and we'll see y'all on the next video. Seek truth, surrender, and let it go. Peace.